hours in, the hard work for this.
For all the people that have won one, it's the greatest accomplishment, and you never can take that away.
The trophy represents number one. That's what it's about.
That's it, coach.
Still a dream right now.
It looks so much better in person, too. Oh, man.
Game 4, and the Larry O'Brien is in the building as the Boston Celtics stand on the, it's not that Larry O'Brien, smaller version, as the Boston Celtics stand on the cusp of history, a win away from a record-setting 18th title, while the Dallas Mavericks look to start the first 3-0 comeback that the league has ever seen. It's either you survive or you don't. We set the stage in Dallas, live from the NBA Finals. Hello and welcome into Hoopstreams, presented by DoorDash. I'm Cassidy Hubbarth, courtside, alongside Brian Windhorst and lovely Monica McNutt. And guys, we just got news ahead of this game. Kristaps Porzingis will play in his first game in Dallas since being traded, but Joe Mazzulla said he will play in specific instances. So, Brian, what do you think that means? And will we see him play?
It means he's going to be the human victory cigar the Celtics are hoping. I guess if they need, with 1 second, somebody to defend the basket. He actually looked not too bad warming up, but this injury has really made his ankle unstable. So he will not be in the rotation unless there's a very elaborate ruse going on. They're probably going to have to win this fourth game without a significant contribution from him.
So I read too much into it, wondering if the deficit that the Celtics found themselves in Game 3 or the late game situation would be considered appropriate spaces for Porzingis.
I don't know. He actually moved okay, but I wonder if he was out there, if it would be like OG Anunoby, right, and they just attacked him.
Oh, boy, yes.
Not to bring up a bad memory.
So close.
Okay, well, we'll see how Joe Mazzulla uses Kristaps, if he needs to use Kristaps. As you know, they're trying to complete the sweep, but I'm standing next to a couple people who know how to go viral. Brian, you went viral after Game 3, calling out Luka. We saw him yesterday, though, kind of admitting that he let his team down, and he even said, you know, I just want to win, and sometimes I don't know how to show that. But that's not the first time we've seen this. Yeah. Not even the first time we've seen these in this playoffs where he's admitted he needs to do better. Do you think he can change, and will these finals be the wake-up call that he needs?
Probably not. It probably won't be tonight. It'll probably be over the long haul. I really envision sometime in the future Luka holding the trophy, kind of like we saw LeBron in the intro, thinking back to his failures and looking at that and realizing that's why he'll be so emotional, I think, because he's good enough to lead the Mavs back here. You know, we see a lot of video and a lot of stats about how bad his defense has been.
Right.
Honestly, his defense has always not been very good. The Mavericks have won a ton of games with him playing poor defense. The issue, guys, is when he's not on the court. And I don't just mean when he fouls out or gets ejected, because those have happened in big games. I mean when he's down at this end here and his team's at the other end, because he's complaining and the officials are laying on the ground. Look at this number. +9 with him on the court in Game 3, -16 with him off. So when he fouls out in a 1 or 2 possession game with 4 minutes left on a really poor decision, he's very much hurting his team. That's just the bottom line. I know it doesn't make Dallas fans happy. It has happened before in major games, not necessarily in the NBA, but in international play. And if he's ever going to win the title, he's got to knock it off. Bottom line, you can try to protect him, you can try to sugarcoat it, you can try to attack the messenger. Everybody who's involved with the Mavericks knows exactly what happened in that game, and that eventually has to include Luka. And I believe someday it will. It's just not going to happen this year because it's too late.
Yeah, the thing for me is he has to come out with a level of focus tonight, right? Like, he can't be distracted by all of those things. But for the conversation around officiating, he is getting to the free throw line less in this series. He's averaged at least 6 free throws in each series to this point. Or six drawn fouls, I should clarify. He's drawn 4.7 in this series. He's shooting less threes in this series. He's also not been as aggressive in terms of his drives and attacking the paint. But all of those things, to me, speak to where he is mentally. If he is focused and competing at a high level, then it's more than just him filling up the box score. Because in 3 out of the 5 games in the matchups between these two teams, he's had triple-doubles and they've been losses. So it's not just about his scoring in this series. It's about his focus and his ability to impact his team.
Okay, so he even admitted when Malika Andrews pressed him on his defense and the scrutiny around his defense, he goes, really, it's the offense. We haven't cracked 100 points in this series. But, there's also the stat that the Celtics are blowing by him 67% of their drives, which would be the highest blow-by percentage allowed by a single defender in the playoffs in the last 10 years. So, the whole defense leads to offense thing, how much weight are you putting on his defensive deficiencies? And do you think it's because of his body, his health, his endurance? What do you think it is?
The defense for me is all mental, right? Like, they could have won Game 3 or Game 2, and those numbers probably would have been the same. But he's right in terms of the energy around this team being able to score the basketball. They've been under 100 points, y'all. Like, that's not what this team has done. During the regular season, they gave you about 20 points, 23-ish in transition. Nothing has come easy for them offensively. And as much as Hoopers want to say, even the best defensive teams, a la the Celtics, or if you want to go to the T-Wolves, you need to see the basketball go in for the sake of your confidence and your basketball momentum.
He is right. They are not losing because of their defense. Right. He is also not helping them on the defensive end. But there's all these indicators of their offense being out of whack. Corner three-point attempts down. Yeah. Lob attempts down. Dribbles up. Passes down. There's fingerprints all over the place of the Celtics disrupting them. So when that's the case, they obviously need to pick up the pace because they're slowing everything down. So no matter what happens tonight, the Mavericks have to play faster, get the score up over 100. They'll have a better chance in that case.
And obviously we'll get more into just how good the Celtics have been. I know so much conversation about Luka Doncic, but we came into this series crowning him the best player in this series.
Sure did.
And we will see how, if he gets swept, it impacts people's perception. But, there's still time. There's still life.
Not over yet.
And it's just getting started.
Yeah.
The way to get started and the biggest flex is that you can make is sometimes how you roll up into the arena.
Let's get into it.
Let's walk it out and go through Game 4 finals fits. And we're going to start with Tim Hardaway. And Monica, I want you to give me the whites don't match.
The whites don't match. Like, now, was this deliberate?
It's a white and then it's a cream pant.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with it being deliberate. I don't love this. I am a fan of the shades, though. I love a good eyewear.
Yes. I love the pants. A turquoise shirt if you wanted to really lean into the,
I would have even gone creams, though, too. Creams could have worked, not the white.
Derek Lively, he's been doing a lot of matching sets, which is very summertime.
What's the retail value of that shirt?
I have no idea.
I don't recognize the designer, which means it's a lot.
It's probably very expensive because, you could probably get that also.
This I like. I'm a big fan.
Jrue loves those kind of pants.
I am a fan of these types of pants too, preferably wider for me, but I love a printed pant and a simple top. I'm a big fan.
Okay, and then we got the Jays. A little casual with the Prada vest on Tatum and the Louis hoodie.
They're in a good mood. I wonder why.
They are in a good mood.
A good mood.
But I don't think anyone can touch this fit from Game 1. Brian Windhorst in the finals jacket.
Wow.
What's the average retail value of that one?
Look at that one.
There's only 175 of them.
I was going to say, I got one, but I don't know the retail value. 175 of them makes it very exclusive.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a great picture of you, Whitney.
It really is a great. I told him it looks nice. Okay, and our lovely producer Courtney is showing you. We saw what Tatum wore into the arena, and these are actually shoes that we could see on Tatum wearing during the game.
Monica, what is the average retail value of these shoes?
I want to say these are, what, 210, somewhere in that range?
That's not bad.
So we have the red cement colorway of his all-new Tatum 2, which is a nod to the DNA of the Jordan Brand with the white, red, and black colors. And then that comes out later in the summer. And we also have the next drop Dogden color, a China exclusive, which he wore in Game 1.
China exclusive?
I honestly think
that's a nice shoe.
Jayson Tatum's are really nice.
True or false? These were ordered in our producer's size.
No, exactly. Jonathan Luna's shoe closet.
Wait, the detail. No. Find a way. There's find
and they have continued to do that. But guys, Tatum isn't the only one with a signature Jordan shoe in this year's finals. We also have the special player edition of the Luka ones that Luka has
really
been wearing throughout the playoffs. An iridescent ISO plate to help with his step back.
Iridescent.
He also debuted his latest signature shoe, the Luka 3 in the playoffs this year, which we have here
Jordan just makes cool stuff.
Listen,
which one do you like better?
This is like my favorite shade of green. Sorry, Courtney, I'd like rip that out of your hand.
I've never owned anything that's iridescent.
I love this.
So you know what, though?
I like these.
There's always tomorrow.
It's given a little Air Max 97.
I gotta tell you, I'm into the Tatums. I've been into the Tatums.
I kind of like this 77. Can you see that?
Oh,
it's got his number on there. I like.
I don't know, Cass. This is tough. I like the details in here.
The 77, you don't see that much. They're good. Okay, guys, the last bit of product we wanted to show off because this could be our last show.
It could be.
The Victory goggles.
You know I love eyewear.
This year, are you about to put it out for us?
Monica,
Thanks, Monica.
What is the average retail value of this?
The artist Victor Solomon set this edition apart. Recently redesigned the Larry O'Brien trophy for the league's 75th anniversary. It actually it kind of matches your outfit, Mon.
I can't mess up my hair.
I ruined my makeup. My lashes are gonna fall off.
No, you can't. And I have a mic. It's just a mess. But you know what?
I'm into it.
It looks fantastic. It looks fantastic.
I'm ready for the champagne
You think we're gonna be using these tonight?
Sadly, in the case of the folks that I love that work for the
Mavericks
Mavs.
fans need is to see me having these goggles on.
No.
That's all I need. I might need it just to get off the court. Actually, give it back to me.
Well,
do you have a vest?
You need the Prada vest. Jayson had on.
And also, if you're asking Joel Embiid, Milwaukee gave Boston this title. So I actually sat down with Jrue Holiday and asked him about that tweet, and he gave me his reaction. Take a look at this.
Here with Jrue Holiday. And Jrue, we wanted to do a little show and tell with you where I'm going to show you a few things, and I want you to tell me what you think, okay? We're going to start with a couple clips from Game 3, starting with this play where you just don't stop moving. How do you describe what goes into a play like this for you?
I guess sometimes maybe you just think it's hard to guard somebody when they're moving so much, you know? But honestly, I don't know. I don't know if it's just the want to win or to make a difference. I don't know if it's trying to get my motor going or get something going. But man, I want to win. So whatever it takes. I know after the game I can go back and sleep. So worrying about me being tired isn't anything you need to worry about.
Well, what about this play? The left-handed pass in the lane. Did you see Derek the whole time?
Yeah, you know, I think for the most part just trying to draw two and see what happens. So I see Derek and JB and really just wondering what he was going to do. And he picked the right decision, and I chose the right decision. So.
Well, look, I think the decision to put you two together has proven to be succccessful.
Yeah, that's my man. That's my man.
Yeah, and speaking of Derek, he talks about you highly as well. Can you just watch this clip for me? That was from a few days ago.
I can't begin to talk about how thankful and grateful I am for Jrue just kind of allowing me to kind of take that next step. And he could easily came in and be like, I'm Jrue Holiday, and I've been like, you are Jrue Holiday, 100%.
Honestly, I think that's the most animated I ever see him is when he's talking about you. But tell me about the chemistry the two of you have built, and also when people say things like you're one of the best defensive backcourts of all time.
Well, one, I think me and D. White's relationship is great. I think I know as a point guard what it's like to kind of run a team and do that. And I've seen what Derek's done here before I got here, playing against him and seeing how well he's played in regular seasons and playoffs. But knowing coming into the season that Derek was our point guard, and honestly, I feel like it wasn't for me to try to outshine anyone or do anything like that. It was about everybody just bringing the best out of everybody. So Derek has done that this whole season. I still think that he could have been All-Star, or should have been All-Star. I think he could have been first team All-Defense. The things that he does on the offense and defensive side of the ball is amazing. So leading into having a backcourt like that, it's fun to play with D. White, knowing that he's going to hound guys, see who's going to block more shots or get more steals. It's
the stock exchange.
Yeah, the stock exchange. I did like it. I do like it. I feel like it's like a little friendly competition, but at the same time, it's cool to see that hopefully guards aren't going to have just an easy night that night. So.
No, they certainly are not. And it's a whole team effort that has gotten you guys a win away from another title. Yeah. And I want you to take a look at, what Jayson Tatum said post-game about you.
I don't know how they let us get him, but I'm so happy that we got Jrue on our team, and we just very fortunate. And he just makes winning plays. He's obviously been here and won the championship. And more than anything, he raises everybody else's level on defense, right? On a team like that we have, you don't want to be the weakest link on defense, right? We all take pride in guarding our yard, and it starts with Jrue Holiday, and we all just trying to match his level.
I think the whole basketball world is thinking, I don't know how they let him get away, including, I'm sure you saw this, Joel Embiid posted during the game, did the Bucks give them the championship? Tell me your reaction, if you had any, to that.
I didn't have a reaction to it. I think we've seen teams with a lot of talent and it didn't work out. I think we've seen that happen before. So nothing's given, and not to take away from anything, but especially our team. Like, we worked really hard to be in this position. We have all sacrificed a little bit of like our basketball game and us being competitive and being the best players that we can be to get to this position. So I think we did it as a team. I'm not sure if it was the Bucks or Portland did a great job of sending me somewhere and kind of dealing with me, which I really, really appreciate them. But this is a special team, and I feel like it shows every time we play.
And look, we know when you were traded from Milwaukee, you had mentioned you wanted to end your career there. But in hindsight, now a win away from your second title and a record-setting 18th title with the Celtics, how do you view where the season started to where you are right now?
Yeah, just from being traded to here, that's a crazy position to be in. To think like, I literally thought I was going to be with another team this season, and to end up the day before Game 4 of the NBA Finals up 3-0. I'm not mad at all. I'm not complaining at all. This is a blessing, to be honest, and a pretty good position to be in.
Lastly, speaking of blessings, I need you to see this tally for me, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So you have a chance to add another trophy and another gold medal. I know you're already saying that Lauren's the best athlete in the house.
She shouldn't have retired. She shouldn't have retired. No, I'm doing my best to sit at the table and to make her proud. Obviously, the 2 gold medals in the World Cup is an amazing accomplishment, and literally the best soccer player that I've known and ever seen. So I'm just trying to sit at the table and be respectful.
But you're gonna have some bragging rights. Just if your tally.
I like being married to her, so I'm not really
okay.
going. You know what I mean?
No, I'm not gonna. No, as a wife, I'm not. I get it. Thank you so much for indulging in show and tell on Hoopstreams.
Thanks.
It's time to see who's zeroed in, brought to you by DoorDash. And early in the series, you were having Jrue in the Finals MVP discussion, but it's Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown, the front runners, combining for 61 points in Game 3. So the question I pose to you here, how close, in your mind, is the Finals MVP race right now, heading into tonight?
Well, I would not rule out Jrue Holiday.
Okay.
He has a really special performance tonight. I do think Jaylen Brown, with everything he's done to improve, he's in the lead, no question. But if Tatum has an awesome game tonight and it comes down to a big shot at the end, I think he could still win it too. But I would put it Jaylen, Jrue, Jayson coming in.
Wait, Jaylen, Jrue?
Yeah,
Jayson?
Jrue would have been my choice after Game 2.
So Jayson is third.
If Jrue has a big game tonight, Jrue was my choice after Game 2.
That's okay.
And thank you for showing that pass. That pass in Game 3 was unbelievable.
It was unbelievable, absolutely. Zeroed In brought to you by Dash Pass, by DoorDash. Get $0 delivery fees on meals, groceries, and game day essentials when you sign up for Dash Pass. We're joined now by the GOAT and my dear friend Doris Burke, who is obviously on the call tonight, making history, of course, a part of her first NBA Finals as an analyst. And speaking of history, the Boston Celtics, they're on the doorstep of their 18th title, record-setting. And what a run it would be if they win tonight, a sweep in the finals, sweep in the conference finals, a dominant regular season. In your eyes, how would you view this title run for the Boston Celtics if they can get it done tonight?
Well, there are only a handful of teams who have ever had this kind of run and would end up with a number of wins versus just 20 losses. So I don't care what the conversation is. To me, Cassidy, one of the best parts about this has been the collective, that this group is greater than the sum of its parts. And are we seeing with Tatum and Jaylen Brown, two guys who maybe change the formula moving forward, particularly in the second apron, right? We wouldn't call these players 1As, the Lukas, the Jokers, the Giannis, et cetera, just slightly below that. And with the second apron being as punitive, do we now see teams maybe look to do this a little bit more?
And you bring up the Jays, but I want to start with Jaylen Brown.
Amen.
You know, he came into this season, richest contract, a lot of scrutiny, and he turned around and, you know, maybe he didn't make an All-NBA team, but he used that as motivation. How would you describe the growth you've seen out of Jaylen Brown, where he's possibly going to win a Finals MVP when it's all said and done?
Cassidy, yesterday we sat down with Jaylen, and the first thing he touched on was the failure he felt. He said in the Eastern Conference Finals Game 7 a year ago, Jayson gets hurt on the first play of the game, and my teammates turned to me, and you know what I did? I failed miserably. And the harder I tried, the worse it got. But what did he do? Did he lay down? He did not lay down. He used those disappointments to refine not only his game, but his mind. The anxiety's gone, and now it's just the talent that you see at the forefront. And what one of us can't relate to this idea that we've struggled, we've failed, we've fallen short, maybe we've let people down, but I'm not laying down. Like, he gave me chills yesterday.
Yeah. Wow, and you mentioned this, the team effort and the team collective mindset.
Yes.
And Jayson Tatum established that at the beginning of the year, brought the starters and Al Horford together and said everyone's going to sacrifice.
Yes.
And, you know, to me, I've been very impressed with the poise that Jayson Tatum has handled, the pressure, the constant talk about who's the best Celtic. If they get the title, what do you think it would do for Jayson Tatum's legacy?
It totally changes everything, because as he said, you can't take the words champion off my resume. And I go back to something this young man said, and let's remember, he's 26 years old. He's not even at the height of his career, and he's done nothing but win for the most part, except obviously the championship. But he said at the start of this year, I am prepared to do less to achieve more. The maturity it takes to accept less shots at that age, when by nature you think score first, his willingness to adapt, to change, to look at film, I couldn't be more impressed.
Yeah, and this Celtics team is very good, and that may be the answer as to why the Mavericks find themselves in an 0-3 hole. But you were sitting courtside during that 22-2 run.
Right.
Did you see anything that gives you some hope, I guess, that they can kind of figure something out and force a Game 5?
Well, I think what we're going to see from Dallas tonight unequivocally is a team play much faster. I mean, this has been a message from the outset. They were 7th in the league in pace. And I think when they're operating quickly and not having to go against the second best defense in the league, they're much better off. But here's the fact, Cassidy. There will be a moment tonight, and I don't know when it's going to be, first, second, third, fourth quarter, but there will be a moment where they're going to have to make a decision. We're going to let go of the rope, and we don't want to go up to Boston and try to get another one, or we're going to dig in and we're going to show our character. When that moment comes, I don't know, but it'll be an interesting one.
And it'll be interesting to see what kind of character we see out of Luka Doncic, because obviously that's been a big discussion around him. And I appreciated what he said. You know, I just really want to win, and sometimes I don't know how to show it.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to learn this lesson. Do you think he can ever learn the lesson of channeling his competitiveness differently after this finals run?
Do I believe that's going to happen overnight tonight? I think he'll probably be better because of the foul out and the number of times he had silly, cheap fouls the other night. Here's what I know. The great ones take these moments and they go to another level. Think back to Michael Jordan. Think back to LeBron James when San Antonio wouldn't guard him from the three-point line, and it took him to another level. Luka can get to another level, and I mean that mentally, conditioning. The game is the game. He's by himself gotten them, not by himself, but by large measure driven the bus here to the finals. But there's more to come. I can't wait to see it.
Speaking of great ones, the Doris Burke, obviously catch her on the call, 8:30 Eastern on ABC with JJ Redick, Mike Breen, and Lisa Salters. Thank you.
You're the best.
You're the best. And you're watching Hoopstreams presented by DoorDash. That guy is looking ready as we're minutes away from the start of Game 4. And back now with Tim Bontemps, Tim MacMahon, and look at this special guest who just dropped by.
series. I think it would take a huge performance by either Jrue Holiday or Jayson Tatum to overcome them. I don't think Luka Doncic is going to honor Jerry West by being the Finals MVP on a losing team. But hey, maybe they're the first out of 157 to come back from 0-3 and all that chance.
Yeah, I mean, look, Jaylen Brown's been the best player. He should win it. We'll see what happens tonight. If the Celtics close it out, hard for me to see him not winning the award.
So if the Celtics close it out, how are you looking at this run?
I mean, that's one of the most dominant runs in the history of the league. In the 28-game era, the 4-7-game series era, the Celtics have the second best record in the history of that run, 21 years. The only one better, the 16-17 Warriors, when they went 16-1. These guys go 16-2. They'd win their final 11 games, set another record with that. They'd win 80 games in a season. Only 10 or 12 teams have ever done that. I mean, it would be a truly historic, dominant run. We'll see if they can close it out.
I know the Celtics have this great, incredible history. They've only won one championship in the last 38 years. This is actually a moment that hasn't happened too often, not in most of these players' adult lifetime. So big deal.
Hey, double-figure win or point differential in the regular season, following that up in the postseason. They have a chance to put the finishing touches on one of the all-time great seasons.
For a team that's had so many near misses and close calls, they get this thing done. It's finally having the mountaintop. Sort of the typical NBA story. These teams have to fight through stuff. Celtics have fought through a lot, and now they're right here on the brink of history.
Yes or no, does it end tonight?
Ooh, I don't make predictions on series I cover.
That's
How's
right.
that for a
I forgot. I listened to the Hoop Collective enough to know. You're the one who makes predictions.
I do.
Okay.
Send them tonight.
All right, and you can watch a live stream of the Hoop Collective podcast after Game 4 on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching Hoop Streams, and thanks to Dash Pass for counting us down to 0. Dash Pass your door to $0 delivery fees on DoorDash. For Brian and the Tims, enjoy Game 4, and maybe we'll see you in Boston for Game 5 on Monday. Thanks so much for watching.